my biggest thing is like, I want kids. So like if I'm sharing another life with you, like we're tied together forever because we have these kids together. I need to know that like we agree on parenting styles, we agree on discipline, we agree on like what we're going to teach our kids. Unfortunately, I'm a Christian. Like I want to raise my kids Christian. Oh, sorry, not unfortunately. I meant unfortunately for the atheist guys who try to date me. So yeah,
got it.
Unfortunately for the atheist guys who try to date me, it doesn't work. I've dated atheists before because I'm like, oh, like this is like, like what's the, trying to be like, oh, it's casual, like let's see how it goes. And then we would end up fighting over like beliefs in God and stuff. And I'm just like, I can't. It feels like pulling teeth or like nails on a chalkboard when I talk about God and he's like, oh, God isn't real. Like God is real. It's like, it just doesn't work. Like that doesn't work because I'm just going to get annoyed of you. Like it's so annoying. And then what do we tell the kids? I'm not telling my kids that God isn't real. He's totally real. So like that is too much. It's too much for me.
Important questions.
Yeah. And it's like, oh gosh, if you don't want your life to be super exhausting, I feel like you should figure all those things out now because you may not think it's a big deal, like you said, until longer. And then you're just like, oh, this isn't working for me. Like a woman, I won't name who married. So she was a woman who like had abusive relationships in the past and she married, and the abusive relationships that she was in, the type of men they were alpha men, they were providers, like they took care of all the bills, but they were freaking abusive. So I feel like sometimes when women go through abusive situations like that, they tend to seek the opposite. So this woman married a man who was not abusive but also wasn't a provider. So she took the bulk of being the breadwinner, taking care of, the family and all of that. And he was really nice to her and like, I guess emotionally supportive, but he couldn't be there for her financially or even doing work around the house, like nothing like that. And so this woman, she got sick of it and she was like, this doesn't work for me anymore because now I'm over the abusive part. Now I realize I need a partner who's actually going to be there for me and meet me in these areas that I need, not just, I can't just be with you because you're nice to me and you're not abusive. I need to be with someone who can meet me in these areas, like, providing, paying for some of the bills or like fixing things around the house, something like that. She needed to be met that way, but you're not with a partner, you're with someone who you have to take care of. Big difference, huge difference, so I've been learning that too. Like I just need to, I need someone who can meet me in certain areas, meet me halfway and compliment me, like you said, compliment. And that's what I'm learning too. Like I said, the guy who's like, super popular and football quarterback and all of that. And he's just like talking my ear off and like not letting me get a word out. And I did date someone like that because I thought they were cooler than me. And like, I thought they were cooler than me.
Cooler than you, Gabby.
I was like, this is great. Like he's so cool. And then I got annoyed, and I was annoyed because he was literally just like, I had to be silent all the time around this guy because he wouldn't let me shine just a little bit. He just, you know what I mean? I'm just like, no, that doesn't work, So I need balance. And that's really what's important to me. But so Keila, as a matchmaker, you're finding love for all these people. You're Cupid. You're doing, you're making the world a better place because you're putting lovers together. What about yourself and your personal life? Like, what's your love life like? What's your dating life like? What is it like? Tell us about you, Keila J.
Wow, amazing question. So that's actually the first question people ask me is, oh, does being a matchmaker help you with your dating life? And I'm always so sorry to tell them yes and no. Yes, but not in the way that you think. I'm not going out on a million dates or anything like that. It isn't easy, but no. Just because I have my own, things, my own traumas, my own my own history that I'm working through. So like for me, for example, I am a very shy dater. Okay, just for some background, people, I grew up in the South, come from a religious family. I love God, just FYI. But am also a lesbian. So growing up, that was always at odds for me. I did not feel like I had a place in church or really just in general, simply because I felt like, oh, I am inherently wrong for just being gay. Which, you know, a lot of people have that similar journey. But anyway, so I really didn't start dating until really just recently in my late 20s, because and that's actually quite common for queer people, while straight people are figuring out like dating norms like in their teens and like in college and things like that. And, you know, they're experimenting and finding out what works for them. You know, a lot of queer people find that out later in life, which is something that I identify heavily with. So while I am in such a good place now, I still have a lot of work to do. I'm still exploring and figuring out, okay, this is how you put yourself out there. This is, you can ask a girl on a date. And it's funny, I actually did ask a girl on a date today.
Today?
Yeah.
You asked a girl out today?
Yes, and it was a huge deal for me because I'm so shy. I never, okay. I should also say I also experienced a lot of rejection when I first came out of the closet. And
no one can reject you, 𝐤𝐤𝐬.
Oh God, you're so sweet. They absolutely did. But yeah, like it was very raw for me, you know? So for me to ask anyone out is a huge deal. And so the fact that I did it didn't exactly work out the way I planned. But the fact that I did it, I was so proud of myself. I am so proud of myself. Thank you. Thank you.
Because I mean, I guess like hearing you say that you're shy is like, huh? You're shy? Like, but like, I guess because I know you're always comfortable with me, you can talk to me. But like outside looking in, yeah, I can see that you can be shy. Mm-hmm. You know, I can see that. But like, I mean, that you're so brave, and like, I'm proud of you for actually having the courage to ask someone out. I am not shy, but I will not ask a man out on a date. Like, I just won't do it. Okay, sorry. I have done it a couple times. Oh, I guess, yeah, I have done it. Okay. But like, it's like mostly because I'm very, okay, I can't say that. That's a wrong word. I feel like I'm a little bit too much for certain personality types. So I feel like if I were to start going around and asking people out, I might scare a lot of them off and face a lot more rejection doing it that way, because I do come off strong. Okay. And I don't mean to. It's just kind of part of my personality. I do come off a little strong. Because I feel like if I like you, or if I'm vibing with you, I'm gonna be all over you, and maybe some people don't like respond to that, I guess. Well, so I'm like scared to do that. Like, I'm genuinely scared to like go up and ask someone out, because I'm just a lot. And I guess, and I don't feel like I'm a lot for the right person. I feel like for the right person, not a lot. But like my whole life, I feel like people have told me that I'm a lot. So like sometimes I have that like insecurity in my head, like, oh, I'm too much. I'm a lot. They can't process me or whatever, you know what I mean? So like, I feel that insecurity a little bit sometimes in the back of my head. So like, that's what scares me to do that. But like, you know, maybe I'll get over it. Maybe I will. Like, I did ask a guy out like a few months ago. That was the first time in like years, probably. But like, and that worked out for a little bit. And then now we're just friends, and that's fine with me, whatever. But like, that was a lot for me to do. Like, I was like, having like pop, like, you know,
heart palpitation.
My heart. I'm just like, I did it, you know? So I'm really proud of you that you did it. Like, that's amazing.
Oh my gosh, you too. That's so interesting. Yeah. The whole being too much thing. I feel for you because, you know, like if I were those guys, like I would find that attractive. You know what I mean? Like, why don't people find that attractive? Like, you go after what you want,
Right.
and you are who you are. You know, like that's to me the best part. So you would think it would be the opposite, but I totally understand that. I also am very sensitive and I have big emotions. So whenever I would lay those emotions down for, you know, whatever person had my attention, it would be like, oh, you're too much. Oh, I can't. You're just, and I'd be like, wait, what?
Wow.
Don't you want to connect on a deeper level?
I say that all the time too. I really feel like that's like a big Scorpio energy.
Two Scorpios.
It's two Scorpios here because I feel the same way. Like, don't you want to get real deep, like real deep
Give
and
me
real,
a soul.
like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the bottom depths of your soul. I want to lick your soul. You know what I mean? Like, but like that comes off really intense to people, especially these fire signs out here. They get too crazy about it. But I'm just like, I don't understand. I don't know any other way to connect. Like, I want to lick your soul. And if you're not into that and you're not into going deep and you're not into getting into like, I want to know everything about a person and I want them to be super honest, the good, the bad, the ugly. I don't care what you've done. You just have to be honest about it because I understand, like, we're on Earth. Okay. Earth can be really shitty sometimes and then it can be really great sometimes. And I need to know all of it because I need to know who you are. And I feel like I don't get a good sense of who you are if you're not being honest. And I was once in love with a man who was not honest with me. And I was like, I thought I was in love. He thought I was in love too. The day that I found out he was lying, I instantly lost feelings. Like, I instantly fell out of love.
I love that for us as Scorpios. Yo, like once
Like, you lied to me?
Yeah.
Who are you, sir? I don't know you.
Yep.
Like, we're not even friends anymore.
We're
Like,
good. We're good. Done.
and it's so, okay. This is TMI. It's like embarrassing to even be this vulnerable, but you know, we're vulnerable on the Gabby Fe podcast. I literally was in love with this man, and from day one of our relationship, he was lying to me. I didn't find out until I broke up with him, I don't know, 8 months later or something like that. And when he didn't, like, when I broke up with him, and it was like kind of like that breakup, but like we still like each other thing. But then I was like really broken up when he when he went with the next girl like 2 weeks later after like being with me for like months. I'm like, okay, if you can get over me that quick, obviously I wasn't that important to you. So like I started to like get over him, started to put myself out there and date other people.
Yeah.
6 months later, he comes back. He calls me and proposes marriage to me on the phone.
Excuse me?
Proposes marriage to me on the phone. And literally with no ring. Like, and I fell for it.
On the phone?
On the phone. Who proposes on the phone?
Right.
Like,
right.
Literally, who proposes on the phone? So then I literally was like, oh, okay, yes. I was like swept up with emotions, you know, big Scorpio.
Oh my God, babe.
Embarrassing. Like I told you, this is like embarrassing, but I'm saying it. So like I said yes for a millisecond. I said yes because I was like, oh, like I was swept up in the emotion. I was like, this is cool. So I was like, okay, one of the issues we've had in our relationship is that you're not consistent. Like I said, I didn't know he was a liar at that point because lying that's like a deal breaker. But at this point, we were breaking up because he was so inconsistent with me. He wouldn't call me once a day. I'll ask once a day, text me once a day, let me know you're alive. He'll go 3 to 5 days without contact. And like, if you're going no contact for 3 to 5 days, who are you spending your time with, sir? Like, who are you with that you can't bother to like give me a phone call or send me a text in 3 to 5 days? Like, that is crazy to me. So I was like, when he asked me to marry him, I was like, okay, but like, you need to be consistent about, you know, you calling me, right? He's like, yeah, I definitely will, whatever. So I was on my way to the gym. It was like maybe 6 p.m. And I was like, okay, I will be done with the gym by 8:30. Call me then. He's like, I will call you at 8:30. We get off the phone. I get back after the gym to my house. 8:30 comes, don't hear from him. 9, I'm texting him like, hello, like what's going on? I give him a call. He doesn't answer. I was like, you know what? You're just reminding me why I broke up with you in the first place. I'm done. I blocked his number. The next morning, 6 a.m., and I love my sleep. I don't like getting up before the sun gets up. 6 a.m., I'm getting blown up, like my phone with random numbers I don't even recognize, I don't even know, like 5 different random numbers just calling. And I was like, it must be him because I blocked his number. So I finally pick up and was like, yeah, what do you want? And he's like, oh, you blocked me, and like I was eating dinner with my mom last night, and that's why I didn't call you, and blah, blah. I was like, so you couldn't call me after? You couldn't send me a text, say, hey, I'm busy right now, I'll call you in a bit? You couldn't do any of that? You just decided not to call me and then blow up my phone at 6 a.m. when I'm sleeping? Sir, no.
If it's meant to be, then it'll be a love song.